Was happening? Yeah, man. Recent events, man, made me privy to different informations and interpretations of different symbolism. And now, after you become privy to certain things, man, you look back on things, and then things you've seen previously make sense now when before they, you know, you wouldn't have recognized it. But what I'm going to talk about here is a video game. It's called Final Fantasy II for Super Nintendo, and it was an RPG, which means role-playing game. And it's like basically you get these characters, and as the more you fight, the more you level up, the more skills you can get, and options that you got that you can do. But I remember there's a part in this. There's a part in the game where you get this character. It's like a weird character, and the character, its name is what the heck was its name? I think its name was Mimic. You know what I'm saying? But I know it was called a mime. That's what it was, a mime maybe, I think. But this character in the game, he was a guy he was covered in rags. Like his outfit was just a bunch of rags, and even over his face was covered with rags. Like he was like the man was a pile of rags with eyeballs. You know what I'm saying? And his skill was mimic. You know what I'm saying? Look, mimic. uh, and I've seen the schematic played out before, and it also relates because the character is like he's similar to the fool or the clown. You know what I'm saying? The fool, though. See, the fool card is, if you look in the tarots, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not into that, but I read a book on occult symbolism, and so it just basically gave you a definition about everything. But I know this about the fool card. The fool card is called the man in the motley clothing. And when you look at the fool card, and then you look at this guy in the game with all the rags, the body made of different rags, and his ability was to mimic. You know what I'm saying? And they also say this about the fool card, or is it the fool? Something. Maybe I'm wrong about that, man. But there's a card, man. It's called the man in motley clothing, and it's in the tarot, and it represents the zero card. But it's basically the thing about these guys that you see in the motley clothing. That means they can't basically match their clothing. You know what I'm saying? The card has a secret meaning that sometimes these people that appear that they're just the man in rags. A lot of times you meet the man in rags, and he actually is he's a very wise individual, like some hobo wisdom, or the old dude in prison wisdom. You know what I'm saying? They appear to be something different than what they really are. You know what I'm saying? But it also could just mean the man who can't match his clothes and he's out of place. You know what I'm saying? So it has a dual meaning, which don't most things have a dual meaning. But between the character, this card, and I mean, here's the thing: if the fool, all he's good at is mimicking, say he mimics a wise, strong person in authority very well, that's how that plays out. Or let's say who's someone who's really high caliber, but makes it look like they're a retard, basically, and pretends and hides themselves, basically. It goes either way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying about this whole thing. There's a movie called, I think it's called On Bok Part 3. And it's this dude who does Tai Chi, or not Tai Chi, but Muay Thai. He's a badass martial artist, dude. But there's a character in the movie, and I've seen him before, man. He's popped up a few times, and it's the movie The Crow is about this character. There's a video game called Tenchu Stealth Assassins, and I think it's part 2 or 3. And there's 3 characters on the game. You can be the dude, the chick, and then there's a hidden character, which is their old partner who died previously because he went rogue. But this character is this guy he's a clown. He's a ghoulish looking clown. In this particular reference to the same guy, the ghoulish clown. And he also has like this spirit animal, which is a crow. You know what I'm saying? Basically. But the dude is indeed powerful, and it seems like he's kind of like a trickster kind of rogue element out there at play. But the thing about the guy is that the more you fight him by the means that he fights you, the more you become the clown. You empower the clown. And here's the thing about the clowns. What do clowns do? The old jesters. In this, you could think of the jester. Less clown, more like jester. A jester is one who gets to sing songs about the king. He also gets to make jokes. And like I was saying in another video, it's like they make a spectacle of themselves. So once everyone's paying attention to them, they redirect that attention on someone else. You know what I'm saying? So this is the jester. But when it comes to The Crow and this movie On Bach 3, basically this character, every time he is sent out to assassinate someone, in a way he possesses the person, and that person, once they start to go to kill force and they try to kill the clown by kill force, it empowers the clown to destroy them by the same power which they're giving to destroy him. And that's kind of the whole in the game, the guy mimic. It's like whoever moved before him, he would mimic their move. Or if he got hit by the enemy, he would mimic their move and do it right back to them. So that would be like someone who, like I said, the jester who impersonates someone. You know what I'm saying? Or sings songs about someone in authority, or even just someone in the neighborhood, a pillar of the community. But they get away with it. You know, so in a way, an impersonation is you mimic the ruler. So if you're pretending to be the ruler and you're mimicking and being all satirical, this is very satirical as well. So, like mockery and satire are very close. Not all satire is mockery, but a lot of satire is mockery. So this all correlates here. Even with this character, the guy who, like in The Crow, Brandon Lee, he comes back and kills all the people that did evil to him and his girlfriend. Basically, he kills them with like times 10 exponential of their own evils to him. So it's also in that movie On Bach. The dude stopped. The way he beat him is he stopped fighting like him, and he turned it kind of like, in a way, he turned it into something else. And that's kind of how I think, listen, the real truther has to be that way. It's like this. It's like this dude was saying, he's like, just kind of make an illusion in your mind. Like, look, these difficult people, it's just a challenge. It's a challenge to figure out how to do the best you can out of in the situation, and it's kind of like that, man. But like I said, no, I said the dude, when he said you make an illusion, I said, no, it's kind of backwards. It's like, listen, no, what it is that guy actually seen through the illusion, and he's seen kind of the truth. It's kind of strange like that, what you can see, man, is, is kind of an illusion, you got to break through it sometimes and see beyond what you're seeing here. But here's the thing about the Joker, the Crow, the Mimic, the Fool card, because like I said, it's like the parallel, it's like a magician card as well, because the man that looks like the man in motley clothing could actually be a wizard or a magician and a man who contains much knowledge. But where I'm going with this is it's kind of like, it's like Obama, okay? I've heard him referred to as a joker. You know what I'm saying? The joker would also be a trickster, a mimicker, a mocker, someone who pretends to be someone else as well, a mime, or an imposter. An imposter could be a, you know what I'm saying? Like, why does people that dress like Elvis get so much? Why do they always still get pictures even now? Because it's that same, it's following these same things. The man who would be king. Look into that movie. This is this as well. But Obama has been in office, right? And since he's been, there's that part where he was like, so should we go to Leviticus and stone your daughter or your sons from straying from the faith? And he's like, folks ain't been reading their Bible. You know, and then he also says, this hasn't been a Christian nation for a long time. Though these things kind of be true, it's all on the man's interpretation of it. And so, like I said, he does seem to be this mimicker guy, and he could be the character. And in this guy, the Grolks, he takes pictures of like Google Maps where events happen, and then he looks at the geoscape, from the satellites from Google Map. So he's looking at it, and he always sees this guy, the clown. You know what I'm saying? And I always thought Obama was the Antichrist, to be honest. But now I'm thinking, man, maybe he's not. It looks like the Pope is the Antichrist and Obama's the false prophet, because he always mocks God, man. He mentions God so many times, but it's always in a like negative, mocker, satirical, just, man, what's the word I'm looking for here, man? It's always like he's trying to like undermine it or make fun of it. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, acknowledge it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean about the clown, who can acknowledge something that's true, but still mock it somehow. You know what I'm saying? It'll still kind of be true because it's a mirror of how things really are. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the powers of this guy, man. I mean, at least as far as I've seen from what I'm saying right here, it seems like as much the more evil you fight him, the more you justify what he does to you that's just as evil as what you wish on them. So it's kind of like Luke Skywalker when he goes in the cave and Yoda's like, don't take your lightsaber, you won't need it, or your gun or whatever. And he goes in there, and then he sees Darth Vader, and then he starts murking on him. And then after he puts him down, he looks at him, and the mask is broken off, and it's himself. This is kind of, I think this is kind of like, this could be a real, like, kind of principle, almost like karma in a way, but not karma, or what you reap is what you sow. And this guy has access to redirect back anything that you throw at him that's negative. You know what I'm saying? But if you throw good at him, you know what I'm saying? He has to throw good back at you. Or if he throws evil at you, he broke the rule. You know what I'm saying? So it's on him. And they go way out of their way. It's like a rule. You know what I'm saying? They got rules. I don't totally understand it. But it's like rules of engagement. Like pirate rules. Like there's old school rules. Like if someone asks for parlay, that means and they throw up a certain flag, you have to go and have a meeting with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. If you call them on certain things, they got to go through certain steps. You know, it's like you got to break certain rules for them to get you. And if you don't, if you do it right, they have to be diplomatic about it because they have to live by these certain rules. So if they catch someone that breaks them, everyone that breaks them, you know, if anyone can break the rules don't mean nothing. So they have to abide by certain rules. So therefore, you can use their legalese against them, kind of. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's the same thing. You know, I mean, a lot of people I see them operating off the same principle of the mocking the rulers, man. And I'm not sure how this totally plays into it, but I think this is part of the whole symbology and what the symbology means behind the clown, the mimicker, the jokester, the prankster, the trickster type spirit.